Hello, the title for today's lesson is going to be solving equations, and the lesson objective is going to be able to solve equations with unknown on both sides. So when we have unknown on both sides, it's like what we did in our previous lesson, but this time you've got an unknown x on either side. So for example, it says here, solve the following equations. So 7x plus 9 equals 2x plus 19. We don't know the value of x on either side, so what we need to do, we need to try to find out what the value of x is, and then hopefully once you find out the value of x, you can put it back in the equation, and in other words, you can substitute it back into the equation, and if it works out, you know you've done the correct thing. If not, there's probably a couple of things that you need to go back on check. Now, one of the things that I like doing up here is when you've got 7x there plus 9, and then you've got 2x plus 19, I want to get rid of the smaller amount of x. So for what I want to do, right, is I want to get rid of the 2x. So if I get rid of the 2x, you need to remember 2x basically means 2 times x. So I need to get rid of the 2x on this side, and I need to get rid of that minus 2x on that side as well. Because it's a positive 2x, we want to get rid of it. So our new line should look something like 7x take away 2x, which is 5x. You've got add 9, you continue with that. And then you've got 2x minus 2x, that cancels out up here. So, and you've got the positive 19. You don't need to put positive 19, but we'll just write it down. Now we've got a new line looks like, what is 5x plus 9 equals 19. Now we have to have the letters on one side and the numbers on the other side. This time the 5 and x, which is 5 times x, can stay together for the time being. We need to get rid of the positive 9. Now we need to remember the inverse operation of positive 9, which is going to be a negative 9. So you do minus 9 on one side, and you must do it on the other side as well. So let's just continue with our new line. So the new line should look like 5x, positive 9, take away 9, cancels out, equals 19 take away 9, which is 10. 5 times x, and the inverse operation of times is divide, so we have to divide by 5 because we want x on its own, divided by 5, and you divide that by 5 there too. So you should have x, 5 divided by 5, cancel that, x equals 10 divided by 5 is 2, and hopefully you should know this is my final answer. Now what we can do is we can substitute our answer back into the equation up here. So for example, if I write this equation out again up here, if I write here 7x plus 9 equals 2x plus 19, and all I'm going to do now is I'm going to replace my final answer, which is x equals 2, I'm going to substitute it into the equation. So 7 times 2, every time I see an x I replace it with a 2, plus 9, and then you've got 2 times x, which is a 2, plus 19 this time. So we're just going to check, do both of these balance out. So 7 times 2 equals 14 plus 9. 14 plus 9 is 23. Got 23 on this side. And 2 times 2 is 4 plus 9. And I know that is going to be 23 as well. So I know this has worked out. Now, what I want you to do now is, I want you to attempt this question up here. It says here 3x minus 1 equals 6 minus 4x. And I want you to attempt this question and press pause, and then we'll go through the answer. So can you please press pause now? Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to try and do this together, and hopefully we should have something to start off with. I did mention earlier on, trying to use the x where you got the biggest value of x, is trying to use that. So this time I've got a 3x minus 1 equals 6 minus 4x. Now you've got 3x on one side and you've got the minus 4x on the other side. Remember this minus sign here belongs to the 4x. The minus sign is going to be a minus 4x. So what I want to do now is, because the x's are smaller on the right hand side, I want to do a positive x here, positive 4x, and then I want a positive 4x. So hopefully our new line should look like 3x plus 4x is 7x, minus 1 equals 6, and the minus 4x and the positive 4x cancel out. So that's our new line up here. We've got equation 7x minus 1 equals 6. So what we need to do up here is we need to get rid of the minus 1 because the 7 and x can stay together. So 7x minus 1. So what I will do up here is I'll add 1 onto both sides up there, and I'll add 1 onto both sides. So my new line should look like 7x minus 1 and a positive 1 cancel out equals 7. And what we can do up here is we can divide by 7 because 7x, we want x on its own, divide by 7 and divide that by 7. And hopefully you should have 7 divided by 7 is x on this side equals 1. That is our final answer. Like we did earlier on, we can substitute it to see if it balances out. So I'll just write this out again up here. So it says here 3x minus 1 equals 6 minus 4x up there. So what we are going to be doing is just replacing the x with the 1 this time. So you got 3 and replace x with the 1. Minus 1 equals 6 minus 4 and replace the x with the 1. So 3 times 1 is 3, minus 2 is 2 on this side, and 6 minus 4 times 1 is 4, so it's going to be 2 on this side. So I know this has also worked out. Now what I'm going to do, right, is I'm just going to go through another example up here, and not this one, I'll just do another example up here, and then what we'll do, right, is we'll have some questions where you can attempt for yourself. So I've got another question up here. I'll go through this question with you. It says here x plus 15 equals 6x plus 5. Now the x plus 15 is just a single x, so that's just like saying it's a 1x up there. So this time I want to get rid of the x's that have the least value. So this time I'm going to get rid of the 1x up there. So minus x on this side and minus x on this side. If you noticed up there, what I have done, right, I've put the x's on the right hand side now. So let's just look at this new line. So 1x take away another x is going to be 0. That cancels out. So you got a positive 15 up here. And you've got 6x minus x, which is 5x. And then you've got positive 5. Like we said previously, what we need to do now is we need to have the letters on one side and the numbers on one side. Because I've got the 5x on this side, what I'm going to do, right, I'm going to keep it on that side. So I'm just going to get rid of that 5 up there, minus 5, and then minus 5. Our new line should look like 15 take away 5, which is 10, and 5x on there. And don't forget 5 take away 5, that cancels out. So 10 equals 5x. Like we did previously, 5x means 5 times x. So let's get rid of that 5. So it's going to be divided by 5 on this side and divided by 5 on the other side as well. So hopefully we should have 2 equals 5 divided by 5 cancels that, and x, or in other words, x equals 2. X equals 2. Now, like we did previously, what we just want to make sure, does this work out? So what I want to do up here, I want to just write this out again. So this equation, it says here, x plus 15 equals 6x plus 5. Now, all I want to do here, I just want to replace my x with the 2 this time. So 2 plus 15, and then I've got 6 times, remember, replace the x with the 2, so 6 times 2 plus 5. So 2 plus 15, I've got 17 on this side, and then here on this side, 6 times 2 is 12, plus the 5, which is 17. And I know that's worked out. What I want you to do now is, I want you to attempt this question, press pause, and then answer the question. Right, thank you. Now what we'll do, we'll just go over this before I set you off with the task up here. So the question this time says 9x minus 5 equals minus 2x plus 50. It's important you keep that minus 2x as a minus 2x. You don't swap the signs around at the moment. So, like we said earlier on, wherever the most value of the x's are, we'll keep it on that side. So because we've got a minus 2x and you've got a 9x there, so this minus 2x is smaller, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2x to get rid of it on that side, and then add 2x on this side up here too. And then 9x add 2x is 11x. Then you got minus 5 equals the minus 2x and the positive 2x cancel out, and then that equals 50. Like we did previously, we want to get rid of that minus 5, and the inverse of minus 5 is the positive 5, and positive 5 on one side and positive 5 on the other side. This time I've got 11x minus 5 plus 5 cancels out equals 55. We've got 11x, we just want x on its own, so you want to divide it by 11 on this side, and you want to divide by 11 on the other side. It's really important that whatever you do on one side, you must do on the other side. 11 divided by 11 is x on its own. 55 divided by 11 is going to be 5. So my final answer is x equals 5. Like I said previously, let's just substitute it back into the equation. So if I write the equation out again, it says here 9x minus 5 equals minus 2x plus 50. And we can just substitute all our answers back in here. So replace the x with the 5, so this time it's going to be 9 times 5, brackets and then close brackets, minus 5 equals, don't forget it's a minus 2, and replace the x with the 5, and then you've got positive 50. So 9 times 5 is 45, take away 5 is 40, and this time minus 2 times 5 is minus 10 plus 50, that also equals 40. So I know this answer is correct. That's the way you can substitute it back in the equation. Now what I've got is some questions up here for you. I want you to attempt these questions up here. Now for these questions, you can only do three on the red one, any 3 on the red one, and then 5 and 5 on the middle 2 sections up there. So any 3 in the red section and 5 and 5 on the other 2 sections. What you need to do is take a snapshot of this, record this, and upload this onto class charts. And thank you very much for listening.